See? You see it? Washing machine. That's what it's showing you. It's saying, I'm washing your asses out of here. Filthy. You're all filthy as hell. Get the hell out of here. Okay? Okay, that's enough. Yeah. That's what I want to see happen to the Vatican. Because it is evil. So evil. Everything that's bad on this planet generates through them. Everything. Alright, that's that. Peace and blessings. Marriott Hotel. Look, I want to show you something. Okay. You see the two things on top of this guy's head? Those are where the Christians stole their story of the Ten Commandments from. Those are the two tablets that Moses say he brought the knowledge from God down off the mountain on. They took them, that's the plumed headgear of God. I don't know which God that is. I ain't going to try to guess. I could try to guess, but I could be wrong. I haven't had my books in so long, I've probably made a lot of inaccurate guesses at these anthropomorphic God personifications. Here's the next thing I'm concerned about you seeing. You can see the rams that I tell you about was always synonymous with ancient Kemet before they got a hold to it and tarnished with the Baphomet shit. Okay, this was all Amun-Ra stuff. All this was ancient Kemet stuff. They took it, tarnished it with Baphomet, like they show black people putting up pyramids and stuff, supposed to be some taboo, when our whole energy source of greatness is around that geometric formation. That's how they get down with you. They make you look at what's great about you and necessary for your completion is something taboo. That's why now, when black women see the statues of the god Osiris set in Heru, if it ain't Jesus, it's got to be something evil or voodoo. But Jesus' white ass responsible for all type of holocaustic activities. And it's alright if you got some image of his ass on the cross, though. And then as you can see, that's the plumes. But there you go. God, Heru. Alright? Or Ra. Or sorry, they're all the same personification, just different attributes, but they're all sun gods. And as you can see what I was telling you, the red piece, symbolic to what I showed you a minute ago with this Urajit with the two hats of Asar. I showed you that, remember? As you can see, the white one slides into the red one. That's what I meant. There are two hats. You're a true king when you wear that. That means that you are eradicated of duality and that you are the true ruler of both Upper and Lower Egypt, which was known as Kemet and Nubia. There was a union of the two between the marriage of a prince and a princess, or a god and a goddess. And this is the true melanated man and woman way of keeping peace and balance amongst the masses by joining themselves together by union of marriage. This was our way for a long time, and you can see it demonstrated in the hat of the Pharaoh Upper and the Princess of Lower Egypt and Kemet together. Kemet and Nubia joined together under one rulership. This is the people who we are. They always want you to believe we was always at constant war around Africa, and that's just not true. We was very civilized, dedicated to the benefiting quality or factors of formation. Formation was based on you and I. meaning that we all looked at each other as being the same thing and saw the necessity to provide and have genuine concern for the well-being of each other. The Europeans destroyed all that shit. When they came around us and saw us thriving like that and had the type of existence of unity where we all worked together in harmony to support one another, them being warlike, coming from the frozen regions where they were actually, like you saw, cooking people in pots to eat them, they came and made us like them. That's really the truth. You can see they try to change the faces to be European looking, but these are black melanated people as represented with the sun disk. We have always been the sun disk people. It's not sun worship like they want to make it be something taboo and evil. It's just representing the sun as a higher essence of self, because that's what it is. There goes right there the two Urajas I was telling you about, the two serpents. They both have a little sun on both of their little heads. Look at that. You see? And another god in the zoomorphic representation. Okay? I just thought I'd share that with you all. Okay? And as you can see, look at me. My representation of my authenticity as the sun god. See the X? Let's see if it thumps. Thump. Is it thumping? Thump. I tell you, I can tell that thing to thump, and it does. But my eyes is really bad. I can't see if it is or not. It look like it is. Thump. It look like it's a round black dot in the middle. I don't remember that being there. This is going to be interesting to see later. This is from Elemental Purification 7. I just uploaded this a few minutes ago. Alright, peace and blessings. Marriott Hotel. See, here's the deal. I want you guys to look at this right here. This is a cemetery, for those of us who didn't know. Now, here's the deal. You see these tombstones right here? You see them? These things are no different than these houses if they were dilapidated and no one living in them. Let me explain to you why. If these houses were left on the land and they were not sustaining people, like the houses and the structures in Detroit, and they were preventing these trees from growing, they would have the same insignificant existence as these tombstones have, if you want to see it that way. But see, when you see them with your pineal gland, it'll have to warn you, because you're not locked down on Jesus. And since you vibrate on real God energy that comes from the sunlight is say to you, to say, see, my desire was to grow these trees, because these trees provide housing and food for all the inhabitants of the earth, not just the birds. Because see, we as a people would gather these tree stems that fall on the ground and arrange them in a round hut where they lay on top of each other and support each other. And we stay there for a week, 2 weeks, a month, as long as we wanted to. And then when we got ready to leave, these sticks or these twigs were still a part of nature, unprocessed. So if we left them there, it didn't destroy the environment. But see, by you guys building these tombstones and leaving them here to mark where you put some dead motherfucker that ain't even around nowhere anymore and shouldn't be occupying space on the earth, taking it away from the people that desperately need this space to provide them with sustainment, then all this stuff right here could be producing food for birds and people. You understand? So by you guys having the privilege to have this stupid ass cemetery right here, you're creating death for other living things on the planet. Okay. So I'm not over there in that place, and neither are the occupants
tombstones those are. I'm sure they're not there. My point being, let's say for instance, something did happen. December of this year, which is real close. Everybody on the earth did die. What's going to happen to our bodies if there's no one to bury us and put these freaking tombstones on top of us so someone can know where we're at, like Jesus when he comes looking for us? Because I'm sure that the people who put these tombstones here put the names of their dead bodies that went into these alleged places on the earth. Now, the first thing I'm concerned about is, if this cemetery has been here for, let's say, the whole history of Vancouver, Washington, or even longer than that, just for Pete's sake, or Jane's sake, or whose other sake, it would make you assume that it should have ran out of space by now. Okay, even those little flat ones that you don't see that's erected, but you can see the perforated spots where they're laying flat in the ground. Those are still grave markings, even if they're not erected. Okay? All right, my point being is this. With the world being in a state of conceptualization the way it is, and all things that occur in our life being based on consciousness, do you think the people who have moved on and left their bodily remains on earth with no animation in it, no more spirit, no more ghost, whatever you want to call the Holy Ghost, and believe that you can't get unless you receive it through a mediator, is what I just call the ghost. It's just spirit that was encapsulated inside of your sarcophagus when you came here through your mother's connection with the universe. This is how your spirit got inside of your body, because your mother was commissioned by the universe to use her baby-making faculty to create a young god or goddess on this planet in this realm of time and space. And that's exactly what she did. And when she made you, she gave you a spirit. And this spirit was all-knowing when it was put into you. So when it left the body that got put into these graveyards, the infinite wisdom that was a part of it continued on and went somewhere else. Now this stuff that you see right here in this graveyard is just based on human ignorance, who does not understand the way it works. So they used all this money to put these stones here. That is another symbolic representation of the decadence that you can always find on this planet due to the ignorance of people. The bodily remains that was put into these wombs, okay, Mother Earth, vaginas, from all blackness you come, to blackness you return. Those things have already moved on, probably became part of the earth, whatever. But the thing is, this man-made...
Hold on.
civilization that's on top of the earth is again stopping trees from growing, and it was the eradication of the spiritual creatures that sing when the sun rises. And again, we destroyed a spiritual living part of our universe to give rise to death. That's what that is, a representation of death, where she'll be at places where trees are growing, fruit is growing, and birds are singing. And again, I'm not going to point the finger at nobody, but we all know what this ritualization is attached to. That's just something I'm pointing out to show why our earth is dying. We spend too much time glamorizing the dead, and then we use an unnecessary amount of energy to make sure the living turns into the dead. Message.
And the message